Hello everybody, my name is Chris, I'm the Generation X gamer guy, and today we are going to do a very easy to use, yet very powerful elemental caster in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Bear with me, this is my first video I'm doing ever, and so if there are some hiccups or if this is not as perfect as you want it to be, then please forgive me, I'm going to work on my skills. But let's go. The build we are going to do is very strongly intelligence based, and we are going to use this to our advantage because we will not only make this a very powerful caster with a focus on fire damage, we will also make this build viable as some kind of lore master, which will guide you through most of the game without having to rely on your companion skills too much, although we will have some dependencies on them, but they will be easy to cover. So first of all, we will use a very nice picture. Yes, this is what we will use. And the one class we are going to build is a wizard, and this is a special wizard. It is an elemental specialist. And the reason why we are going to do this is this special type of caster gives us very, very strong fire damage, which will help us especially through the first levels of the game, because this finally makes our cantrips viable for doing more than just tickling the enemy. We're going to play human for this one. Usually I would not recommend playing human for casters, because elf usually is a much better choice here, but we're going to play human because this is a beginner's build guide, and for beginners, playing the human is much easier because we get an additional feat, and this is why we are going to select it. The background we're going to use, and this is the first time where we are really making a choice that plays into the role and into the feature set of this build. We're going to play an oblate, a healer. The reason being, we can use our wizard now for doing lore, nature, and lore religion checks, and using intelligence instead of wisdom. This will make the non-combat skills of this build much stronger, and the build will be much more self-reliant. And also, this build will contribute much more to the party. So we're going to min-max this build. And you will see that I put in here 19 points of intelligence, because at level 4 we can get to 20 points of intelligence, then to 21, up to 24, and this makes much more sense than having here 20 points, because this way we can also have 4 more points in the point pie to spend for other ability points or ability stats. We don't need any strength. Also, we don't need any charisma. We keep wisdom on at 10 intentionally because this increases our saving throw for will saves. We pump dexterity up to 16. Spend some points in constitution. You can go crazy there and go up to 16 as well if you want, which probably is the most sensible choice here. Some people would put 2 points into wisdom as well. It's not necessary for this build. This is a very simple thing for beginners to do, because we will take Len with us, and Len will do all the perception checks for us, and we will use initially Sealer and later Ember for persuasion. Also, we will not really use magic devices. This is a skill. That sounds better than it actually is. Also, we don't have it in our class skills. As you can see, I have selected intelligence here for our bonus to ability scores, and that's nice. So let's see. What we put here is everything that we can cover with intelligence. Again, we can only do this because we have selected healer, so nature and religion is covered by intelligence as well. In addition to that, you can put the point either in perception or in stealth, but it doesn't matter much. We will not use it. It will not do any good for us. It's just 1 point that's there. We will get another one on level 4, and then we can put it in stealth or whatever. But never mind, the only 4 that we care about, the only skill points we care about are these 4 here. The feat we are going to use, the first one is point blank shot. Basically, we are using it as a prerequisite for the feat that we are actually looking for, but this also applies to touch attacks. We are going to do range touch attacks, and point blank shot also applies to that. which you can check later when you have a look at the rolls and at the combat results. This is the one we're looking for. So this is also why the one reason why we are using human, because with precise shot we can shoot into combat without taking a -4 penalty on our attack rolls. I think this is the one reason, the number one reason to go human with any ranged, and casters are ranged damage dealers. Here it's a little bit harder. Some people would use fire here as the bonus feat. Personally, I prefer to go for a full spell penetration right from the start. It's actually on lower difficulties, it's not necessary, but do it, you will want it anyway later. So and the other bonus feats are not really useful at the moment. We cannot use meta magic because we don't have the necessary caster level, so they don't do anything for us. Spell penetration at least gives a theoretical advantage. Elemental focus, fire is also good, but I don't think I've ever seen a saving throw against a fire spell that early in the game. If it happens, then yeah. But spell penetration is okay, or elemental focus fire, because you will want to take this later anyway, but not now. Right now I would go with spell penetration. Arcane Bond, I have a special recommendation here, go with the hair. It gives you a +4 bonus on initiative checks, which is very strong. You don't really care for the perception check, but the bonus on initiative checks is really, it's a bomb. It's absolutely amazing. This is what you really want. You will draw first much earlier, and this is very helpful. Also, you have to understand that this build will be very strong in later game, and when you have a +4 on initiative, you can sometimes really kill like 2 or 3 enemies with a fireball when it's a weaker enemy. So this will really help you a lot. And an enemy that cannot draw is the best enemy. So here, some people say that this is a matter of taste. Personally, I have, because when you know what's coming later in the game, when it comes to possible companions, you basically know here at some point what you're going to do. I suggest that the 3 opposition schools that you use divination because it doesn't really provide anything for this build. You use necromancy because you can later use ember for necromancy skills. And the third one is illusion, and you have a very strong illusion caster already in the later companion roster, which is Nanio. So these are the 3 opposition schools you will use. So there's a good reason for each of them. So it's not just something that you click on because it's like random stuff, but it's really, there's a reason behind all that. Of course, the focused element we're going for is fire. And now it comes to the spells. The spells I would personally choose is Burning Hands, because it's very good against fighting rats and other swarms. The Ear-Piercing Scream is surprisingly good. The Flare Burst is really good. It's some sort of semi-crowd control skill. The Magic Missile you want to take, because when there is an enemy that you really cannot, that you feel like you cannot hit, then Magic Missile is your go-to skill. So if the target has a very high touch AC, then you go for Magic Missile. Also, you can use this against, there is 1 or 2 enemies which are really like resistant to magic damage, but Magic Missile works against them. Forget Shocking Grasp. You're a ranged damage dealer, you will not want to use this. Get Grease. Whatever you do, get Grease. Get Mage Armor, which is really good for self-buffing. Especially if you take the Archmage Armor mythic feat later in the game. And then there is Shield. Also take this one. Self-buffs at this point in time are really bomb. Other skills I would not take at the moment. But these are the ones you really want. Personally, I prefer to play chaotic good characters, and since I'm going to really try to have fun later in this game with some special mythic path, I'm going Desna here. All the other chaotic good options like Caden Killian or even Calistria, who also has chaotic good followers, are really good as well. Desna, personally, it's my choice. I go with it. I go with a chaotic good one. Here you can do whatever you want. So my suggestion is to do it like this, and yeah, you can do whatever you want. Let's put a scar there somehow. Yeah, like so. And don't make her too tame. I mean, she's a caster after all, so make her wild. Go wild here. Yeah, this is nice. Some Warbind is always a nice thing to go for. Especially now that we've got more Warbind options, which are really welcome. Because I found the first selection of Warbands, or there was only very little choice. Now we have much more choice. Like, yeah, this one looks very good for this type of caster. Yeah, let's make her black and red, like so. This is actually very fun, especially when you play a party when you have Venduak, for example, or when you have or when you keep Camellia around, because then you have another crazy person in your party. Yeah. So I usually, for my casters, I go with the 3rd of April, and people who are into mysticism, they know why. So let's find a name. She's doing a lot of fire stuff, so let's call her Fireball That Walks. Yeah, and so here we have a very easy to play caster, and I will do a video later and where I show you how to actually play this character. Have fun and thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!